This is the Arduino based electronic assisted 21st century musical instrument. The goal here, it's got a set beat, it's got a set number of notes, it's got a set tempo, so you play this music or whatever genre. This is the first one, it's my Oriental music, Chinese sounding stuff. The way that it works is it's a set scale. It doesn't really matter which keys you hit as long as you do it in an artistic fashion and you run up and down the scale, it sounds cool. I figured this out when I was 10. I never learned how to play piano correctly, but I had an Oriental Chinese or Taiwanese music teacher that had told me a little secret after school about how, and she didn't have to share this with me, but it stuck with me my whole life. And it was the only thing I ever really learned about playing a piano. And I could go home and I could sit and peck that scale. And I could impress people by thinking, wow, you're playing, is that Japanese, or that kind of sounds cool? And it does sound cool because all the notes harmonize. You can't pick a wrong note. So I was playing around with the Arduino sketch that has the piano keys. And I tried to play my scale that I remembered when I was 10, that the music teacher had taught me about Chinese music. And I couldn't quite hit the notes without a pencil or a toothpick. And so obviously it wasn't really workable. But I did notice that the notes on the scale that I remembered way back then in this basic digital tone, I recognized them, and I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. And I started playing it, and I thought, oh, if I could only play this scale, the keyboard's too small. And so I thought about it for a while, and I thought, what if I redo this whole instrument and I eliminate all notes outside of the scale? So I started, basically, this instrument is I call it China flats. These are flat notes. But it's part of the scale that she taught me. And so I eliminated everything outside of the scale. So there are no notes on the scale that do not harmonize. See? I can't explain it. It's just some kind of law of music or something. I caught on to it when I was 10, and that's the only thing I ever learned how to play was because the music teacher gave me that cheat information. And so based on what she told me, I couldn't go wrong. I could play some Oriental sounding stuff, But and as goofy as it is, it's pretty cool. So in the spirit of this, losing my power here, in the spirit of this sketch, I basically redid the piano, and I eliminated all the keys. And then I kind of did some color patterns and width patterns so that you can, it gives you some little, kind of like a guitar, the neck of a guitar, you get familiar with where your scale's at depending on where your fingers fall. So anyway, all your high notes are up here, low notes down here. Now if you notice, there's a quadrant here in the lower left. Those, as long as your left thumb, you play this instrument with two thumbs, as long as your left thumb stays within this quadrant area, all those notes that your left thumb is on at any given time take precedence over anything else that your other thumb is pushing. Now, the rule of this thing, and you can make a game out of it, it sounds like crap if you ever miss a note, because it's a set tempo, and the way this is programmed, it's fast, so it's kind of techno sounding. And the moment you miss a note, of course, it's a slap in the face. So you could almost make a rock star, Guitar Hero kind of game out of this, to where how much of this stuff can you play before you slip and you miss a note, and a gap shows up, and then it kicks you out of the game, and then makes a count of how many notes you played in sequence. That might be fun, but that's later on, and I ain't got time for that. But to me, it's a musical instrument now, and I want to show it to y'all. So I hope you enjoy it. Anyway, that's how it goes. It's kind of addictive. It's interesting. And the more you play it, you figure out what you can do with your two thumbs. And there is some technique. It's a strange little thing. Just kind of farted it out of the air there, based on the old previously existing piano sketch, and then applied my memory of that Chinese sounding scale that my music teacher had taught me, and kind of took it from there. So anyway, I'm going to post the sketch code when I can recover it and get to my other computer, and I will post it so you guys can try it out. It's an addictive little program. It's kind of funny. It shows what little microcontrollers are going to be able to do in the future as far as augmenting or assisting different things, because it's kind of like training wheels. It's an instrument that you really can't play wrong unless you miss notes, of course. And I missed a couple, and you could hear it, big gap. But as long as you follow a couple of rules and don't miss notes, it really doesn't matter what you're playing. It still kind of sounds good because you pick a scale. So, like, my buddy plays guitar, and he taught me about this blues scale. And if any of you guys know anything about guitars, you probably know what I'm talking about. But there's a certain set of notes that you play, and you only play those keys on your guitar, and it sounds like blues. So he calls it the blues scale. So I guess we could call this is the China flat scale, or whatever. But it's basically training wheels, and it really gives someone the impression that you're really jamming out, and you're just like, Mozart or something, just picking all the right notes, when you really, you can't do wrong. You're in a plastic bubble. You got training wheels on you. You're artificially making music, although you are picking the notes, and you are affecting the way it sounds. But as long as you follow the rule and you keep one of two thumbs on the screen at all times, it sounds pretty good no matter what you do. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy it. Definitely a funny little thing there. Enjoy.